Hello listeners, today we're going to see three games. The first game is between Bogolejubo versus Spielman. Let's start the game. Bogolejubo is white, Spielman is black. This game's topic is the golden question, prophylaxis in chess. E4, E6, the French defense. D4, D5, knight C3, knight F6, bishop G5, bishop E7. This is sort of the main line. E5, knight D7, and now interesting move H4. Interesting pawn sacrifice. This leads to the Alekhine chartered attack. Yeah, interesting gambit to play, although you have to admit it's kinda interesting. Bishop into G5, H into G5, queen into G5, and now knight H3. What's the logic? If knight F3 is played, then when you go queen to, let's say, E7, queen E7, then this knight has no future and also this queen is blocked. That's why knight H3. Now queen E7, and now after queen E7, there's queen G4, G6, and knight F4. And now both pieces are in the game, and also the rook on H1. Now there are moves here to choose from, but in this game it was played, yes, come on, you can do it, A6. Now why was A6 played? Firstly, let's see if short castle. When short castle is a bad move, because this king is very not so good. The H file is open, and if something like bishop D3, it's just crushing attack starting here. Wrong castle, then the rooks can double. No, I have way too much power here. So short castle is not a move here to consider. Here A6 was played. If C5, the normal break in the French defense, normal counter play, knight B5 is coming. Annoying move, and now knight D6 check, and you lose your castling rights. So that's why A6 was now planning C5. Now what is our move? Okay, little too much of a shit. Now here there are ways to continue. There are some ways to continue. In the game, long castle was played, C5, and now comes bishop D3. Not expected, eh? Yeah. After bishop D3, there are some interesting variations. In the game, it was played. Actually, the game parted from the main line. In the game, it was played bishop D3, C5, now queen G3. Now after CD4, there are complications after knight D5, CD5, knight D5, and you get some compensation, for the pawn, as we can see. but this is not that wanted. So after a6, long castle, then c5, and queen g3 was played. Now knight b6, and if after queen g3 cd4, then comes knight c into d5, e into d5, knight into d5, and here there are some complications, but white has compensation. cd4 is the best try. In the game, knight b6 was played, d into c5, queen into c5, and now bishop d3. Now it was played queen to f8. The queen goes back to defense, and here there are some pesky threats. And why defense? Because what is white's threat? I hope Mr. Engine can tell. Yes, white's threat is bishop into g6. White's threat is bishop into g6. Here we can see that bishop into g6 is white's threat. So that's why queen f8 was played, and was black's threat. Black wants to play knight c6. And now what was played in the game? Okay, now this is important moment. Pause the video and think what should you do. You did very well. Now you have the initiative, but how to continue the attack? Now was played an incredible move, bishop to e4. What a move. Now why bishop e4? Okay, so let's see if our pieces are doing good. Knight f4 doing good, queen g3 also doing good, rook h1 also okay, but these three pieces don't seem to be having any feature because of this d5 pawn. If there were not this d5 pawn, then the knight could hop to e4 and then to f6 or d6. Now one thing we can think of is knight e4, but after d4 bishop e4, this is fine, but we would more like to have the knight on here. That's why bishop to e4. Now d e4, knight e4, and we have our bishop. And what is our threat here? If you don't take me, I'll take you. Then bishop into d5 is coming. If you neglect the threat and place something like knight bd7, then bishop into d5, e into d5, knight into d5, knight into d5, knight into d5, game over. Now knight c7, knight f6, too many threats, way too much power I have. So d into e4, knight into e4. Now black cannot. Now black was played knight 8 d7 to evade knight f6. If black cannot play something like knight c6, because knight f6 check, king e7, queen a3 check, knight b4, and queen into b4 is just checkmate. So knight 8 d7, and now comes pause the video and think what should you play now. Very important moment, and here I am going to share you the golden question. This move can be founded only by the golden question. Okay, so when you give people this position, they will normally say like knight d6 check, or let's say queen g5 with the threat of knight d6, or let's say queen h4, rook d2, rook d3, and then rook d1. But here Actually, these doesn't work. The golden question is, what is your opponent's next move? This sounds easy, but is as effective as it is easy. So now, what's the catch? What is white's move? We'll figure out. So after knight d7, what should we play? Tell me. A critical moment. It's very tough to find this move though. What should we play? Now was played queen to c3. What a move. Now idea is, I'll tell you, but now let's together figure out why how can we find this using the golden question. Okay, what is black's next move? Black's next move is to play queen, something like, see, black's next move is to play something like queen e7 or queen g7 and go short castle. Evade all your attack. So we have to act fast. Now queen c3 is the move. Like if you play queen g5 thinking of knight d6, queen e7, queen h4, queen e7, knight d6 check, then I play like king d8 and it's not so clear how you can continue your attack. So queen c3 is the best move. Now comes queen e7, knight f6 check. That was the idea. After he plays queen e7, play knight f6 check. Knight into f6, e into f6. Now it's better for us. Now knight queen f8, queen c7, knight d7, and now what should we play? Pause the video and think. In the game was played knight to d5, an amazing move. Knight sacrifice. Now after knight to d5, was played into d5. No other moves to be sure. So now why knight d5? Now this file opening is decisive. Now rook h1 check, knight e5, rook into e5 check, bishop e6, and now pause the video and think what will you do. Very important moment. Now this is the moment you need to think. Okay, have you think? Most probably yes. This is the test that whether you have learned the question or not. Now here comes. Now whoever says rook into d5 is now rook into d5 is an extremely bad move, because now you overlook the fundamental I just teased you, and queen h6 check, queen h6 check, and then short castle is coming. So don't do that. And instead of rook d into d5 comes king b1, a complete extraordinary ultra precise move. Why? Now what is opponent's next move? We'll use the thread button, queen h6 check. If black gets queen h6 check, short castle, bye bye Mr. Cool attack. So what can we do of it? And note, if you say f4 here also, then bravo to you, both moves do the same job. They prevent queen h6 check. Now king b1 was played, and now and now you can play queen h6 because there's just queen e7 mate, and now we are winning. Rook d8 was played, and now find the last blow of this game. Well, rook d into d5, rook into d5, and now here rook into d5, good move. Rook into d5, rook into d5, just bishop into d5, queen c8 is mate. This was the amazing game. Okay, nice game to be sure. So what are the takeaways from this game? The only takeaway from this game is that the gold one question, it's not only important in chess but also attack, and not only in attack but also generally. What is your opponent's next move? This is very important. What is your opponent's next move? Ask yourself, what is it? What does my opponent want? That's how you do it. Yeah. What is my opponent's next move? Yeah, when you attack, prophylaxis in attack is very important. So this was the game. I hope you like. Don't forget to give the scramble icon. Thank you.